Hello, I'm David Thomas of the Open Ballots Party. I want to clear up a question we've been getting, which is whether Donald Trump is part of the two-party system that we've been criticizing. The answer is no, not exactly. Trump and Trumpism is more something that was created by this system, and something that we're going to keep getting more of until the system is fixed. Since the Clinton era, both parties have essentially been in agreement on a sort of globalization consensus, the idea that free trade and open borders would ultimately benefit the American worker as well as corporations. Basically, a labor market extension of Reagan's trickle-down economics. By 2010, if not earlier, it had become clear that this strategy was not working for the American worker and that a different approach was needed. At least it had become clear to American workers. Most politicians on both sides, however, were content to forge on ahead as always. But this didn't stop a national populist movement from taking off in 2016. Two of the most prominent figures in this were Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. Not coincidentally, the two politicians with by far the most devoted followings in the 2016 race. Since both of these candidates wanted to upend the current economic consensus, both major parties wanted to stop them from winning their primaries. The Democrats managed to defeat Bernie Sanders in the primary and nominate Hillary Clinton, but the Republicans had no such success and ended up with Donald Trump. Now, you would think that the parties would have learned their lesson from this and pivoted to adopt the more popular ideas of Sanders and Trump and incorporate them into their own platforms. However, this was not what happened at all. Instead, for 8 years, both parties have been determined to learn absolutely nothing from their mistakes and continue to try to crush both these candidates as if the candidates themselves and not the policies that brought them into prominence were the root of the problem. It's easy to forget, but Bernie was favored to win the Democratic nomination as late as April 2020, and the Republicans spent the last primary season throwing every also-ran politician they had at Donald Trump, like an irate Eagles fan who ran out of tomatoes and resorted to throwing every pizza crust and beer can within reach. There will be another Donald Trump, hopefully another Sanders. These people aren't going away. They're not going away until the two major parties start listening to the American public, and they aren't going to do that because they have become incapable of changing from within. The last 8 years are as clear a proof of that as you could possibly ask for.